Hey guys, thanks for joining us tonight. Not quite the normal Tech Tuesday format that we usually have, but we do have a lot of tech to talk about with the introduction of the all-new E-Ray Corvette coming for 2024. Before Chuck and I share some of the feedback and bullet points on the press release and just kind of update you, everybody's talking about this today on the internet. We just want to share some of our input and give you two pieces of information, some rumors, if you will, that nobody's talked about yet. That's coming up today. But first, here's the presentation from Chevrolet to us, the dealership, this morning in regards to the all-new 24 E-Ray.
Today is a special day for Corvette, and of course, for Chevrolet. Because exactly 70 years ago, the legendary Corvette first debuted at Motorama in New York City. To celebrate 7 incredible decades, today we are proud to introduce the first ever electrified all-wheel drive Corvette, the 2024 E-Ray. This vehicle is truly one like none. E-Ray is a testament to how our team of engineers and designers continue to innovate and crush the boundaries of performance. In fact, in just a few minutes, you'll hear from those who know E-Ray the best. Josh Holder, Corvette Chief Engineer, and Brad Franz, Director of Marketing for Chevy Cars and Crossovers. As you'll see today, the E-Ray represents the future of Corvette. Now, I hope we never take for granted how fortunate we are to have a vehicle like Corvette. Its impact on the Chevy brand in so many ways is immeasurable. An iconic name that embodies American performance and innovation. Corvette unleashes a visceral response every time you start one up. Built not only to compete, but to beat the best at a price that absolutely no one can touch. 70 years in, Corvette continues to create its own lane, bringing younger, more diverse buyers to Chevy than ever before. Coming to your showrooms later this year, the E-Ray will build on the Corvette legacy. So buckle up, it's time to meet the 2024 E-Ray.
Welcome to the Corvette E-Ray reveal. Since 1953, the Corvette brand has always strived to build a rich legacy of power, performance, and style. And that desire to constantly improve has led us here to the first ever electrified all-wheel drive Corvette E-Ray. It uses electrification to deliver intense straight-line performance, all-weather confidence, and sure-footed touring capabilities. The E-Ray was developed to be the Corvette that owners can drive anywhere. And today, I'm here with Josh Holder, who will help us take a deeper dive into some of the features of the all-new E-Ray. Okay, Josh, let's start with why did we develop it and what was the vision of the E-Ray?
Well, thanks, Brad. We are super excited about the all-new Corvette E-Ray. You know, for 70 years, Corvette has been using technology to enhance the driving experience. And the E-Ray is really a culmination of that. For the first time in Corvette, we're using electrification to capture and store energy and then redeploy that in a way that enhances vehicle performance. The 8th generation Corvette was a game changer for us. We're able to expand the performance bandwidth of Corvette like never before, starting with the Stingray and the Z06 and now the E-Ray. In the architecture of the mid-engine car, we use what we call a center backbone body structure. That center structure gives the car its rigidity in open roof driving, and even a coupe, you can remove the entire roof. Well, we've cleverly used that space, that section, to package a small but powerful high voltage lithium ion battery, 1.9 kilowatt hour battery, to capture energy and then use it to drive a motor that powers the front wheels to enhance the driving experience.
You know, when you think about Corvette and you think about the brand, what specifically about E-Ray really separates itself from the rest of the lineup?
Well, of course, it's the first time we've ever done an all-wheel drive Corvette, but that all-wheel drive, that torque capacity and capability come with some blistering performance. So it also happens to be the quickest Corvette ever. 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds and a quarter mile in 10.5 seconds. So it's got some outstanding performance. We've got all-weather capability with the front drive axle, but even more importantly, we're delivering torque in this massive tire contact patch. 275 millimeter front tire, 345 millimeter rear tire, all that grip, all that torque results in that outstanding straight line performance.
Yeah, exhilarating performance. One of the features, though, I want to touch on that we think is super cool is stealth mode. Unique to E-Ray. Can you give us a little bit on what stealth mode is?
Yeah, stealth mode is really cool. So for the first time, you can operate a Corvette in a pure electric mode. So you can drive a Corvette without the thundering small block running. And we use the battery to allow this pure electric driving experience for speeds up to about 45 miles an hour for a range of 3 to 4 miles, depending on driving conditions. A common use case would be people exiting their neighborhood, say leaving early in the morning, want to get off to a quiet start. It's just another cool feature in a way that telegraphs that, hey, this Corvette is special.
When you talk about the performance of the vehicle, all-wheel drive capability, first time we've ever done that, what types of weather conditions do you think consumers will really notice that difference of having all-wheel drive capability on the E-Ray?
All weather conditions. So for the first time ever, I think a Corvette has really become practical in four-season driving. We've driven this car in places I never thought we would drive Corvettes. Inches of snow, on grades, in those kind of conditions, and the car is absolutely outstanding. And so what it means to customers is now we've expanded the envelope of a grand touring car. So you can use the car in more places, more times of the year, maybe not planning around weather. You could take it to a favorite ski resort. You can just use it more often without worry and with that enhanced performance that the front axle electrification gives to the all-new E-Ray. And for the first time, we're offering this big wide tire and an all-season tire, so developed with our partners in Michelin. We developed an all-season tire that's capable of all weather conditions, yet still provides outstanding dry traction performance, 1G of lateral acceleration, and then of course we're gonna offer a summer tire, our PS4S summer tire, that's 1.1 Gs of acceleration. So the handling performance that Corvette customers and the world, frankly, has come to expect from Corvette is ever present and even enhanced with the electrification in the Corvette E-Ray.
Did we have to sacrifice any utility when we were developing E-Ray?
We didn't. So I talked about how cleverly we packaged the battery and the power electronics in the central tunnel of the body structure. But the electric motor, while it's powerful, it's rated at 160 horsepower, it's very compact. The stator is only 175 millimeters in diameter. So that space behind the frunk is where that motor is packaged, and we were able to preserve all of the front storage space that Corvette customers have come to expect. So not only do we expand the way customers can use the car in all seasons and all weather, we didn't have to sacrifice storage utility to do that.
All this technology, the E-Ray package, what's the starting at price for the vehicle?
So the coupe will start at around $104,000, and of course we're going to offer the retractable hardtop convertible, and that'll start around $111,000.
Right, and I think the question everyone's probably asking right now is, when are we actually going to be able to have these on the road? When can customers get in these vehicles?
We're working hard to make that happen. I can tell you that later this year, in 2023, we're going to offer the E-Ray as a 2024 model. We'll start production later this year and deliver to customers soon after.
Thanks, Josh. We couldn't be more excited about this car, and we hope that you are too after hearing about everything this Corvette has to offer. Thank you for joining us for the reveal today of the unprecedented Corvette E-Ray, the future of the Corvette brand.
Defying nature. It's what defines the all-new 2024 Corvette E-Ray, the quickest Corvette ever. With 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. An electrified all-wheel drive that handles all four seasons. With a 6.2-liter V8 plus an electric drive motor to power the front wheels for unparalleled traction. A force on the track or off. Beauty finding strength in the extremes. "70 years in the making. The next chapter of Corvette. a supercar of contrasts. It's everything you never expected. One like none.
All right, Chucky, it's history
All right, buckle up. Let's get into it.
right before our very eyes.
Yes, sir.
Some snippets from the press release, if you would.
Sure. New York, exactly 70 years after the Corvette debuted at Motorama in New York City, Chevrolet has returned to introduce the first ever electrified Corvette with all-wheel drive and powerful 6.2 LT2 small block V8, the 2024 E-Ray.
Yeah, this is a Corvette that's developed for owners that can go anywhere, no matter the season.
The E-Ray is also available, the only sports car pairing two separate propulsion systems to provide naturally aspirated V8 power with electrified responsiveness power and E all-wheel drive, making it one like none.
That's their big marketing line. One like none. Absolutely. The E-Ray is the quickest production Corvette right now in history, clocking at 2.5 seconds, 0 to 60. And just in case you're wondering, well, what's a Z06? It's 2.6. So this would be faster, although they share the same quarter-mile time at 10.5 seconds. More data on this car as far as the packages and stuff like that. Just so you guys know, this is not a plug-in electrified Corvette. This is a hybrid, so there's no need to plug that in. The battery is a regenerative system that regenerates the battery power through coasting and through braking, as well as during normal driving. So there'll be a lot of discussions on that and how it's accomplishing that. There's some additional features, though, on the new E-Ray. What do they include?
Yeah, some of them include what they're listing as the stealth mode, which is an electric drive mode for the street up to 45 miles per hour.
Okay, so that's what you're running on the battery then?
Correct.
Up to 40, okay, in stealth mode. Of course, the new lightweight lithium-ion 12-volt battery that supports the LT2 V8's engine's start-stop functionality, and that is a standard feature that you can turn off. That will be on all 2024 Corvettes.
And of course, it's going to come with the standard Brembo carbon ceramic brake system for optimal braking performance.
That makes a lot of sense to me in the pricing structure, which we'll talk about here in a second, but that's significant that it is. Z06 didn't come standard with ceramic brakes.
Really?
But the E-Ray does.
There you go.
Heck of a statement. We talked about this in many videos back before the announcement today that E-Ray is not about, some people immediately hear electric and think, oh, it's better gas mileage. No, this is about performance. And that statement of putting the Brembos standard on the car, I think, is a testament to that.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure. Standard is going to be just like Z06, magnetic ride control on the new E-Ray.
It comes with staggered 21-inch wheels with Michelin Pilot all-season tires.
Now, there is summer tires available if you go to the performance package. So again, talking about the drivability in all conditions, standard with all-season tires, just like the base Stingray before you go to Z51. So another big statement on E-Ray as far as what they anticipate the usage by you guys going to be on this new car. Of course, the low wide stance and crafted body styling is 3.6 inches wider than Stingray, just like Z06.
Sure. It's got a versatile sound experience and embodies the car's dominating presence. The electric front motor works in harmony with the LT2 engine to create an invigorating sound.
Some fancy words here for you.
Oh, yeah.
I know. You like that, didn't you?
Sure.
He was reading it before we talked. He was invigorating sound. Oh.
Yeah. Whoa.
And the enhanced roster of driver assistance technologies, which will be shared on all 2024 Corvettes, include lane keep assist and lane departure warning. That button should be, nobody's shown you that yet, should be up above the mirror around where the OnStar buttons are. Also, forward collision alert, we've talked about that on the channel, and automatic emergency braking. Two features that nobody's talked about, and we'll tell you these are a rumor only, that the front trunk, number one, you don't lose any space in the front trunk, but the front trunk is supposed to be a soft power close, and there's supposed to be, for the coupes, some adjusting, what do they call that, ambient lighting or something like that to kind of jazz it up a little bit back there. So stay tuned for more details on the E-Ray. All right, Chuck, let's talk about the outside of the car. What are some of those features?
All right, some of the other features on the outside are 4 aluminum wheel finishes.
Yeah, it's going to be all new design for that. So, and you notice each car, like Z06 and Stingray, and same that's been in past generations, each model has its own styling of wheels. So that's one way you can identify it. Oh, that's a Grand Sport. Oh, that's a Stingray. Oh, that's this, back in C7 era. So we'll see how you guys take to all those new wheel styles. I think the wheel style looks good on the new E-Ray. 14 exterior color choices, including new for 24 Riptide Blue, which is so gosh darn close to Elkhart Blue. What's the point of the change? But that's my opinion. Sea Wolf Gray and this cacti kind of matte green kind of thing. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
An E-Ray exclusive body length stripe package in electric blue.
Yeah, I seen that. It looks really good on the car. Standard carbon flash badging on the outside for your logos, just like Stingray and Z06 will be on the 24 E-Ray.
Also has available black exhaust tips and bright badging.
Yeah, so if you want to take those badges and flip them over to the chrome accents, yeah, you most certainly can do that.
Absolutely.
Also available, oh really? Good luck getting these, carbon fiber ground effects.
Okay.
I'm sorry, we're just throwing a couple shots in there because these are all great features if you can get them.
Exactly.
And then you got an optional...
optional carbon fiber wheels and carbon flash, visible carbon fiber finish, or visible carbon fiber with a red stripe.
Oh, okay, that's going to be nice. That's going to be really nice.
Yeah, like you said, with the ground effects, if they're available.
If they're available. Now, the E-Ray is going to also introduce a new Artemis dipped interior, which features complementary dark green tones on nearly every interior surface and will only be available on the 2024 Corvettes. Also, remember, guys, and this kind of leaked when that visualizer got out there, there's a Charge Plus button and a Start-Stop button over here, that auto stop-start, which I think everybody will turn off. I don't think General Motors, I think the Corvette team didn't really have a choice. I think that was forced upon them, so we'll hear more on that. Anyways, those buttons are going to be in the center console down there. There's going to be updates in your main screen, your infotainment screen. I've seen some of those when you turn the mode selectors, and they just come to life. So let's talk about pricing. I said this the other night, that I thought the pricing, because your base price of Stingray is $65,895 and Z06 is $106,695, and I thought from a marketing standpoint with this car, now it shares the Z06 body, and had I known that it came standard with carbon ceramic brakes, I probably would have set a different price, but I thought initially it would come right in between those two models, about $85,900. And
you would be incorrect.
I was way wrong. Oh yeah, but what's the base price on the new E-Ray for the coupe?
$104,295.
Wow, and the convertible is $111,295. Horsepower is at 655. So the motors in the front that kind of get you going, those generate 160 of that 655. So that's quite interesting, this new technology that we'll continue to discover. And once we get one in and get it up in the air, Chuck's kind of working on it. He's not looking forward to it. We'll share that with you guys on the channel. One thing I thought was interesting too, as we talked about the identifier of wheels on each of the models, I'm kind of surprised in the equipment packaging that they didn't change that too. Like you have 1LT, 2LT, 3LT for Stingray.
Right.
And Z06 is 1LZ, 2LZ, 3LZ. And I thought this being E-Ray would be 1LE, 2LE, 3LE. And I mean, it'd be confusing because of Camaro, but I'm surprised they still didn't do that because of what this car is. Also, too, if you want to play around until the build and price tool, the full pricing structure is not out yet on these cars. There's a visualizer link down below in the description of today's video, so you can get on there, play around, and see some of these different configurations. And again, they don't depict anyways. At least the other build tool is closer. This one is going to be a little off in some regards, like some of the greens and things like that, but you can still play around with it, get some kind of an idea what these different wheels look like, and just get ready for the 24 E-Ray. This is something people never thought would happen. A lot of people thought mid-engine would never happen. So we're here now. And as they said at the introduction of mid-engine, this is really only the beginning.
Yeah.
And it really is. What are your thoughts?
Well,
personally, just be honest.
All the speculation and the guessing's over. It's here now, 2024.
Yeah.
My personal opinion, I don't know. I mean, I know everything's going to electric, but in my mind, is that really American muscle?
Yeah.
That's just where I'm old school. Look at me, I'm old.
So
I'm
the
old school,
E-Ray,
so.
what I'm curious about the E-Ray is going to be the performance factor. Have you ever driven an all-wheel drive car on track? We were
No.
talking a little bit about that this
No,
morning.
I've seen guys do it, and yeah, I mean, all-wheel drive on the track, it's a lot better than just a rear-wheel drive.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious about that. So I'm intrigued by E-Ray and the performance aspect of that. Going back to what you said, I think a lot of people look at this car again, their mindset, oh, I forget those electric Corvettes. No, this is V8 and electric combined, that hybrid, that I would consider. Right now, I think the electric technology is just bizarre and just phenomenal. It's fantastic. What I don't like about it, for us, for my little tunnel vision of the world in the automotive industry and Corvette, I think it takes away from the driving experience. Having to worry about, can I get to this destination? And not really having to worry about it. It's great to get in your Corvette. You can drive anywhere and you always can come across a gas station. But now you have to worry about a charging station when we get, because we know it's coming, the days when we get to a full electric Corvette. So,
Yeah, and to me, it's just going to add, because like you said, if I'm running low on gas, I can zip off the interstate, ding, 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 10 minutes, I'm filled up and back on the road.
yeah, cold weather's going to affect that. Traffic's going to affect that. It just, so maybe by the time, we're still several years away from an all-electric Corvette. Maybe by the time we get there, the technology improves, as it always has. I mean, even to this point right now.
Right.
So we embrace it. We're excited to have the opportunity to share this. It's going to continue to bring in a new marketplace. My phone's already been blowing up. I will tell you this in regards to those. Being on a list does not mean you're getting a car. I really, really appreciate the inquiries wanting to do business. I've taken more inquiries than everybody on the floor together at our dealership. We still don't know how many we're going to get. I think, personally, I think the E-Ray will be the focused car. I think Z06 allocations might suffer just a little bit by a small percentage, because I think this is the focused car. Because originally we talked on the channel, this was supposed to, and this came from Chevrolet, this wasn't a rumor, this was supposed to be a 2025 car. You and I talked about that.
Correct. Yeah.
And I think it got to the point where, rather than just keep kicking the rock down the road, we're ready. This was our plan from the get-go. The car's ready, let's bring it to market. So the car will probably start ordering somewhere. We'll get a lot of details at the Bash event in April at the National Corvette Museum, which I'll be there with you guys. But probably start physically putting in orders, pre-orders, and assigning order numbers in May and June. Production's supposed to start in July. So more details and more discussions for sure to come on that car. Still a lot of questions. I know you guys have a lot of concern, but I think this car is going to be more of a rock star than you realize. It's a little higher price than I thought it should be, in my opinion, but new era Corvette.
New era.
Absolutely.
Well, you're talking about a list. I mean, for anybody that's tried to buy a new C8 since 2020,
Yeah.
you know where being on a list gets you.
Right.
So,
I mean, it's changing a little bit, but now you've got, and I wanted to talk about this in another video, maybe we'll revisit that, but you've got Stingray, you got Z06, and you got E-Ray now. So you got 3 models now that are fighting for and they're doing 2 shifts and what they can build. So somewhere there's going to be some give and somewhere there's going to be some take. And I'm not sure where that split's going to be for the models. I've got an idea, which we'll talk more about in a future video. So that is a concern. I think Stingray will still be very strong, very popular, because it appeals to a lot of people, and it is now the most affordable Corvette that you can get. When you step right, I mean, you're a couple grand away from Z06.
Yeah.
But if the availability is better, then it's not going to be, well, it won't be to the degree and to the drama that we're dealing with Z06. I just don't even like talking about Z06 as far as a sales standpoint, because what's the point? If I can't get you the car, I mean, listen, it's a great car, but if I can't get you the car because they're not building enough and it's increasing a little bit, I mean, what's the point,
I mean, it's been the same scenario with just the C8 between COVID and supply chain issues. And I mean, GM has not been, and no fault of their own,
right,
have not been able to produce this new mid-engine car like they wanted to.
Sure. I guess it makes it more special, it's
sure.
And some people are like, hey, well, you look at all those opportunities you got. Hey, I'm not selling cars if I can't get the cars, so it's a blessing and a curse. Sure. And I know that I'm not going to let the droves and droves of texts, emails, phone calls of people trying to position themselves to get a car, which I appreciate. I'm not going to let that stress me out. The Z06 stuff was just insane. Damn near gave me a heart attack last year, and it's not worth my personal health. Guys, I'm going to do all I can. I'm going to be upfront with you, whether it's what you want to hear or not. I'm going to tell you what it is. And we all need to kind of just take a step back, relax, and let things happen in the order in which they're supposed to happen. You asking 50 times doesn't make anything happen any faster. And I think that's the misconception.
Well,
People
right.
expect me to call them and hold their hand and let them know. Number one, I don't have the time to do that. We barely had time to do this upload today, but I don't have time to call and tell you no news and interrupt your day and go backwards, and then it's, you know, another 50 hypothetical questions. Just kind of hang tight, know you're in the wheelhouse for those of you that we do communicate with, and get on our list. And when it is time to talk about it, I love talking, and we will talk about it for hours, whatever you need, when it is time to do so. Right now, it's, you know, put your hand in the air. Thanks for the opportunity. Thanks for the request. And I hope that I'm able to facilitate for you guys, because I love doing the retail entity of this business and just seeing you guys kind of come alive and just lighten up when you're getting your new Corvettes, whether it's the E-Ray, whether it's the Z06, whether it's the Stingray. I see the expressions on your face. Grown adults act like little kids, and it's great to be a part of. So I just ask you to not be like a little kid all the time and just relax a little bit.
Well, we're not going to do the over-promise and under-deliver. We want to go the other route.
Well,
we want to under-promise and over-deliver.
That's what's happening.
I know.
You know, and I'm sorry this went on a little longer than I wanted to, but again, Chuck and I just love the opportunity to talk with you guys, and that's the thing. And they're not even doing allocation information and distribution in the same manner. We used to get letters. You're getting X. Great. We could actually control and set our customers' expectations. Now we can't. I mean, it was late allocations for January until last week, at the end of last week, before I found out how many or how few cars we're getting to order for January. So it's difficult right now in that regard to try and manage all of that for so many of you. So I appreciate your understanding and I appreciate your patience. And if you don't have any, well, I wish you well. There's a number of ways I could have said that, but I think that's probably the nicest and coolest way. So thanks for spending some time sharing this information with us.
Not a problem. Look forward to it.
We'll be back next week with a regular Tech Tuesday. Got a couple of good questions have been coming in. Thank you. Email address is up on the screen if you want to email Chuck and I how to use something on your Corvette. No matter the generation, preferably C5 and up, because that's really my wheelhouse of expertise for Corvette. Or if you have a troubleshoot problem on your Corvette, let us know, and we'll do what we can just to have a conversation for you and for others that are watching the channel. And then we'll be back next week with your beautiful rides as well. Thanks again for watching, guys. Should have told them what you really thought of the E-Ray.